Hello, gentlemen. I have returned, kind of, sort of. I kind of wrote the script for this video a long time ago, and I decided, I guess, I was bored enough to finally do it. So, I remember hearing a while back that some girl was complaining about Lot offering up his daughters to the group of men, you know, in Genesis, way back in Genesis 18 and 19 and all the other Genesises. That's not even true, what am I saying? So some of the Genesis have Lot in them. That's what I'm saying. Not all of them, of course. That'd just be ridiculous. But then again, would it really be ridiculous? Who are we to judge how many books are allowed, or how many chapters in a book are allowed to be about one person? Because it's not all of the Bible about Jesus. Am I right? Who's with me? Hey, oh, no one. Okay, let's get to making videos. Why did Lot offer his daughters? I wrote a script here. So you can see it. It's right here. Don't be... Oh, guys, he's totally reading a script. What a phony. Yeah, you know what? I don't care, right? I don't have time to memorize all of this. And I'm not going to say one sentence, then cut. Say another sentence, cut. I'm not going to do that. That's annoying. So now I'm just going to read off of this. And I'm not even going to look at the camera now because you disgust me so much. I can't even bear the thought of you looking into my eyes. Just kidding. That's really mean. I got a haircut, by the way. So let's just read this. Wait, which way does my hair? My hair goes that way. Yeah, because see, my camera, like, it doesn't show me a mirror image. It shows me the exact. Look at this. This is my left hand, but as you can see, it's on the right side. Because if you were facing me, this is what you would see. Whereas I guess some webcams just kind of show you a mirrored image, where left hand would be over here. You know, who cares? No one cares about that. Let's just get to the let us get to the meat, the good stuff, as you will say in some countries. I don't know if any specific country says. Let's stop. Hey. Why did Lot offer his daughters? You may be wondering the same thing, as was the case with this one girl who I never really talked to, but I remember her. I don't know. I don't even know how I found out. I think she made a YouTube video, or she was in a chat room or something, and she was complaining about. Why did Lot offer his daughters? Probably some feministic, oh, women should never ever have to do anything, you know, something like that. I don't know. So let's find out. I'm not trying to sound like, oh yeah, women are property and you can trade them for cattle. I'm not trying to sound like that, but I'm definitely saying she is on probably the other side of the spectrum. The fact that she would even bring this up. Because why would she not also complain about the instances in the Bible where men are traded? She doesn't seem to care about them. But it's if you're trading women, that's wrong. But trade men all you want. I'm probably reading way too much into that, but I'm just saying feminists are annoying. In Genesis 18, we read that the Lord has sent angels who visit Abraham on their way to see if the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, sins are as great as the outcry about them has been. In Genesis 19, we read that Lot, who was Abraham's brother's son, or Abraham's nephew, if you will, was sitting by the city gate in the evening and saw the angels and immediately bowed to them and invited them into his house. They rejected his offer and claimed they wanted to spend the night in the open square. And Lot, knowing the evils of the town, insisted strongly, and they agreed to spend the night in his house. However, the angels went to bed, and the men of the city, both old and young, came and surrounded Lot's house and said, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us that we may know them." And knowing somebody in the biblical sense means to have sexual relations with them. We observe this terminology being used much later when we find that Mary was with child before Joseph knew her. So are you saying that Joseph married a woman that he did not even, like, know existed? You get what I'm saying here? Knowing somebody means knowing somebody, if you know. Oh my. But yeah, that's what it means, alright? Let's not be children about this. The Bible's got some explicit stuff in it, and it's okay to talk about it, alright? But back on the subject. I actually typed that, back on the subject. Maybe I knew I was gonna get off track. Or maybe I was putting a little note kind of thing that, and it's actually part of a paragraph about knowing people, but that's irrelevant. No one cares about my opinions, right? It's not even my opinion, it's a fact. And this is where a lot of the objections come from. Why did Lot offer his daughters to these men? I'd imagine people would complain and say women are treated like property and all of that, but I assure you this is not the case. Upon reading this, I come to a couple of possible conclusions, also dealing with what Lot was thinking. The first conclusion would be that Lot knew that these were angels of God, and I would strongly assert that he did know, just as Abraham did know in Genesis 18. And knowing that these were angels of God, he wanted to go to the ends of the earth to protect them. I assure you, if the gender roles were all reversed, it would be the same circumstance. Lot would be offered... Lotta! Yes, yeah, that was a joke. Lotta, because he'd be a girl. Yeah, I thought that was a typo, but then I was like, oh, Lotta. Ha. Ha. Lotta would be offering her sons to a rabid mob of lesbians in order to protect angels of God, alright? Which leads to my next possibility. Lot knew that these men were all raging homosexuals and would reject the offer of the daughters anyway. So maybe he was just trying to get points with the big man upstairs by offering them anyway. Kind of like when people pretend to act humble when you offer them food or gifts. But that's probably not it. I'm just saying, man. He's human. Maybe he's making mistakes. I'm just saying, alright? I'm just saying. Now, then the last conclusion would also be that he knew that they were angels of God, and in addition to wanting to protect these angels, he wanted to protect the cities themselves as well. So by offering his daughters, a terrible sacrifice being made, the cities could have been spared the wrath of God, but instead of taking the offer, they reject it willingly, wanting to chase after their own desires, and are destroyed by God's wrath in the process. Maybe there's a correlation with that to Jesus, or rather, than offering daughters to raging homosexuals, he has offered his son to the entire world. Oh my, there's like another whole page left. Oh, well, kind of. Ugh. How much did I write? I just don't know. Type. I do know how much I typed. It's right here. Now, another objection I hear is the incest that later takes place in Genesis 19. Further on, we read that God has told Lot to flee into the mountains where he'll be safe from the wrath of God. But Lot says he does not want to go out of fear that some evil there will take him, and he dies. So God, looking favorably upon Lot out of God's grace and mercy, allows Lot to escape to a small nearby city of Zoar. Zor? I'm pretty sure it's Zoar. Why did I say Zoar? The city of Zor instead. So Lot runs there, and the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah are destroyed in brimstone and fire, and Lot's wife looks back directly against the commandment of God and becomes a pillar of salt. She seasoned a lot of pork after that. It was her last act of redemption. That is not funny. She is dead. What is wrong with me? Another correlation to the New Testament, where he puts his hand to the plow and looks back, is not worthy of the kingdom. Luke 9:62. Much like Lot looked back. You can't be doing that. No, Lot's wife looked back. You can't be doing that. You got to stop it right now. You can't look back. You got to keep on keeping on. Alright? That's how it goes. You can't look back. You're not fit for the kingdom. Alright? And here is where things get interesting. Okay, so God destroys 2 entire cities. Bunch of homosexuals are trying to rape angels. And his wife turns into a pillar of salt. And this is where things get interesting. Oh, hey, I actually typed that out. Something like that. If cities of rabid homosexuals being destroyed by God weren't interesting enough, God, allowing Lot to go to a nearby city instead of the mountains out of fear, then decides to leave Zor and go to the mountains again for fear of his life. It's like this Lot guy doesn't even know what he's doing. God gave him what he wanted, and he still decides to go against what he was offered. And lo and behold, his daughters get him drunk and have sex with him. That's gotta be something that really sucks. You wake up in the morning, and your daughters had sex with you. It's a hard life, man. Now tell me, why are you objecting to this story? Why do you assume God condones this? How do you know that if Lot had obeyed God in the first place into the mountains, that this would have happened? Perhaps Lot's punishment was that all of his descendants would be the descendants of incest, and not in the same way as Adam and Eve, in which their sons and daughters have no option, but out of a gross disobedience. I couldn't tell you. But as far as I'm reading, I see no problem with Genesis 19. I see a city deserving of God's judgment, a man trying to protect angels, and then his daughters taking matters into their own hands, which God never commanded them to do, and then making for really awkward family reunions to come. Alright? I'm just saying, I don't see the problem here. It seems to me like God knew what he was doing, and then Lot tried to fix things which he wasn't supposed to fix, and things got bad. So, take it or leave it. I really don't care. Have fun with your lives, I guess. I don't even care.